What's up, everybody? Fox Body Friday, one of my favorite days of the week. Of course, every day is Fox Body Day, but Fox Body Friday just sounds cool. This is our update for this old four-cylinder conversion. Four-cylinder automatic converted to a 505 speed. And starting back here, we put on the V8 exhaust hanger that was missing here. And then obviously that one there, both the rubber little hangers were gone, so got a couple of those. Took the exhaust off of the donor car that we had, which will probably be updated later. The dumps suck. LXs need the tips to come out the back. But moving way forward, got the T5 dry shaft installed. And then because someone welded together this whole system, the mounts for the H-pipe, this wasn't existing on that, so I had to dig in my archives there and dig up one of those to be able to get the exhaust to be able to support in the middle. It's basically located like one support system back there, nothing in the middle, all the way up to here, and then of course from the headers, which you don't want to hold. But anyway, that's all mounted in, that's done. Got the proper O2 sensor harness, got that installed and tied back away. Got the low oil pressure light, our sending unit wire on, routed a clutch cable up through the top, so now we got that's ready to be stuffed through the firewall up there. Headers are bolted on, connected. The starter wire is good to go. Took the starter out, connected up the wiring, put it back in. We have the transmission wiring harness. It needs to be dropped in from above, so we're gonna have to wait until we lower the car down to be able to stuff that through the floor, to be able to then plug into our locations for that. And like I said, proper O2 harness for a manual transmission mass air car. That stuff matters. And while we're up here, connected the fuel lines, got those 100% installed in the car with all locations secured for the factory V8 bolts, routing. It's exactly as it's supposed to be. Snapped in together, now it's fed to the engine. Mounted on the starter cable and the O2 sensor harnesses to the actual mounts on the side of the motor. The motor was missing a timing dial or pointer. Also took the time to mark my timing for the initial set whenever this thing gets fired up. The other side of the mount for the motor, for the wiring. Connected up the brackets and the hoses for the power steering. That's done. What else? I think that's about it. So I believe, with the exception of plugging up the transmission and a couple other little things, that the bottom of this car is 100% buttoned up. I'm going to give it a 95%, 94.3% buttoned up. Now it looks like most of the rest can be done from up top, which will be great because we'll be moving this off of the lift to make room for something else to go onto the lift. Here's our fuel line routing. Mimic the V8. Original mounting locations. All the way down. We got lucky and we were able to feed it in between the pump on the subframe connectors. A lot of times if they're the big subframe connectors, we can't get fuel lines in and out without actually cutting out the connector and then welding it back together when it's finished. Got to do a vapor line here up to the front canister when that gets mounted. The fuel filter's connected, all the lines have new clips in them. Everything back here is tight. So now it looks like the rest of the battle is going to be fought from the inside and from the engine bay. Cooling system can go on here pretty quick. And then we've got the transmission T5 floor mod that needs to be done still. That's the cooling fan and pulley from this. So once you put her on the ground, we're going to have to pull out the carpet and seats to be able to get access to that, to be able to mod that and drop the harness down for the T5, which is right there. So that's it. That's our update from this shop today. We're going to be heading over to the other one in a little while to do some color sanding and polishing on a car that we just got painted. Another police car, Coupe. Coupes are dope. We love the Coupes. So shoot, this one's not far now. We still got to drop the 5-speed pedals in it and do some other little stuff, and shoot, plug and play. This thing should be making some noise here pretty quick, roasting off these big old 285s. They're old, they've been sitting for a while anyway, so they probably should be, you know, sent out with the utmost respect. No violent burnout. It'll last a little while too. Well guys, thanks for paying attention, thanks for keeping up, thanks for watching my crap. Any suggestions? What would you do? What am I missing? How many of these 5.0s have you converted? And how far did you go when you did your conversion? Every nut bolt bracket? Half and half? Everybody does it their own way. This one is going to be pretty much every nut and bolt and bracket. Nobody will ever know that it was an automatic or that it was a 4-cylinder at one point, except for running a VIN. Otherwise, she's going to purr. Well, guys, thanks again. Stay tuned. Hopefully I can get some other content on, work on some of the other cars I got laying around that I've been dying to play with. One day, my sweet. One day. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. See you soon. Later.